Thank you, Acting Speaker. And I'm certainly happy to rise to speak on the Terrorism, Community Protection and Control of Weapons Amendment Bill 2024. And I too was a little perplexed. I'm glad the member for Hawthorn brought up earlier that he too wondered why these amendments were brought together when they amend two different acts, being the Terrorism and Community Protection Act and the Control of Weapons Act. And the main purpose, of course, of the former is to refine the functions of the Department of Justice and Community Safety Secretary, the CVE, the MAP, in relation to the operations of the Voluntary Case Management Scheme to align with best practice case management, expand the eligibility criteria for referral to the VCF scheme and other provisions as well. And then the Controls Weapon Act in relation to planned and unplanned designations of an area for purpose of weapon searches to be conducted by Victoria Police to make various improvements to the operation of the scheme. Now, we've heard a few, in fact most, if not all, speakers on this side of the House talk about the missed opportunity we have here in making some real change that may actually contribute to an increase in the confidence that Victorians have that they are safe to walk the street, that they are safe in their own homes. Because at the moment, Acting Speaker, that is just not the case. And we can talk about it, those opposite can talk about all sorts of things, and I know the member for Monbulk earlier remarked about words, how words are very powerful. Actions are more powerful, actions and words. And what we've missed here is an opportunity to put machetes on the controlled weapons, the prohibited weapons list. And as the member for Frankston and quite a few members on this side of the House, including the member for Murray Plains much earlier today, have referred to machetes being an agricultural implement, which may have been the case prior to the 1800s. Now we have much larger, more efficient, much more expensive implements to do that work. There is absolutely no reason anyone should be possessing a machete. We don't need it to get through the jungles in the Mallee. No one needs a machete in Australia, let's be honest. The member for Murray Plains remarked about how he has been through, he trekked Kokoda last year or the year before. And even there, you know, it's been brought up on a farm my entire life and still being involved in agriculture now. There is no reason anyone should have a machete, or any knife for that matter, over 30, 40, 50 centimetres. It's just insane. So there's that part that is a missed opportunity. And of course, the member for Hawthorn spent some time talking about enhancing or giving police back their move-on powers. And in fact, some of our stakeholders had remarked about this. You know, if it was deficient in areas, the amendments made through this bill must enhance the ability of police to intervene in the carriage of any controlled weapon. And anybody carrying a controlled weapon in any place at any time must be able to be arrested and prosecuted. Police must have the power to search and seize based on reasonable suspicion. And I did want to take a moment to shout out to our local police members that on the weekend, and this is, I love a lot of things about living in a small town, and I am small town country to my core, and I make absolutely no apologies for that. I'm very proud of it. But while I was at the rodeo last week, and I know that's a cliche in and of itself now that I've said it out loud, there was many members of our police teams from around the district, because again, a lot of these towns are 100, 180 people, 200 if we're lucky. But they all came together, all of the police members from as far away as Swan Hill, some from Robinvale. And after I'd left the event and I had stopped at the local community-owned hotel on the way home at Sea Lake, and they saw my car, and normally when a highway patrol vehicle pulls up behind me, in a former life I would have been a little nervous, but our police members, Zach and Dave, just wanted to have a conversation and just wanted to thank me for standing up for them, for speaking up for them, and for fighting the good fight, I think Bully's words were. So, and that is just, I mean, there's many things I love about living in a small town, but that's just one of them, that all the coppers know your car and they know who their local members are, and they are not afraid to have candid, honest, sometimes brutally honest conversations about life as a Victoria Police member at the moment. And we heard earlier as well, I've spoken about a few members that have spoken on this bill from this side of the House. And normally I would say they've left the best to last and let me go speak last, but on this occasion the member for Morwell made a brilliant contribution about community safety in the township of Morwell. And I was listening to his contribution, and we feel like every week in this place we are on our feet talking about this. Again, talking, more words with very little action. And he was talking about how he won't let his staff during the day, his parliamentary staff, walk to the post office. Last week I spoke in this place about how, as a 6-foot woman who is described in the Mallee as a hefty lass, I know, but it's acceptable in the Mallee, it's fine, carry a personal alarm these days when I'm out running or when I'm walking at night. And it would not be easy for anyone to take down, I know that. But that's where we are. So when people talk about keeping them, that's the fundamental job of any government, I would think, to make sure the community is safe. And at the moment, it's just not the case. To the point where, Acting Speaker, I heard and then saw on Instagram last week FM radio get involved in this debate. And when we talk about words, even Fifi Box from one of the FM stations that I didn't work for, and I've worked in FM radio for a lot of my working life, they rarely, if ever, get involved in political debates and things as serious as this. It's usually keep it upbeat and help people enjoy their mornings or whatever, drive home. But even Fifi Box said she was sick of the talk around this, which, again, words upon words, media releases, doorstops, so on, with little action. And here we have a bill that amends 2 acts which actually could have made people really quickly feel a hell of a lot safer in their homes and on the streets. Pretty easily. And even FM radio announcers are now saying they are sick to death of all of the talking, and they are even willing to act. Now, that just doesn't happen. I'm glad that it is, because more and more community members that have high profiles are starting to get involved in this, and maybe that's what it will take for this government to make some real change to keep Victorians safe. Honestly, when I was listening to the member for Morwell beg the Premier and the Minister for Police to come and spend a day with him walking the streets, and again, he feels safe. He's a 6'3" man. He can walk down the street to the post office during the day, but his staff can't. That's horrific. That's a horrific statement for anyone in this country to make, much less live every day. And surely there comes a point where that actually hits a nerve with the government, and there is questions raised. How did we get to this point? What can we do about this seriously? Because, again, this is Australia. This is Victoria. We should be able to walk down the street in the middle of the day in any town, in any city in this country and feel safe, during the day, no less. And I applaud the member for Morwell and his contribution. It was brilliant and it was heartfelt, and he knows because he is out there on the ground every single day. We need change now.